Hello, I am ibxtoycat, and welcome back to a very chill stream in the Let's Play world. Today I wanted to take things a little bit old school, back to the way that things might have been in times past, because ultimately things have changed, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a good discussion about life, the universe, and everything else in between. And so I'm going to be doing that while working on one of my oldest and honestly most important projects, the sugarcane farm. One of the big things that is missing from the farm that you might have noticed is that it currently only goes down to bedrock, and then a tiny bit below I need to make it go all the way down, which uses up a lot of pickaxes. It uses up a lot of my netherite pickaxe too, to be totally honest, but this is something that needs some work, and today I'm going to be doing precisely that. It's an old school mining project while I give you an old school existential crisis, and maybe honestly we have a valuable moment in between where we really get to chat about the state of things, because I do have to say that there is this weird feeling that has started to envelop the YouTube scene kind of broadly over the last month or so. I've spoken to a few people who have mentioned the same, that yeah, like something has changed, and it's weird because my instinct as, someone who is in an industry where, you have to change everything you're doing, not once every 10 years, not once every few years or so, but like almost every single week you come to what it is to be a YouTuber, and you have to question what that actually is. The same videos that, could have been popular 10 years ago are now the bare minimum if you're like, if you wanted to make something that was like old school, you'd still need to make it better than it was back then. There's a lot of weird changes across the platform that way, but also more broadly speaking, I think there's been a lot more emphasis on the idea of engagement, but there are lots of engagement techniques which do not make for better videos. And so although I think that times have changed in a way that is positive and is new, I figured today would be a great time to talk about everything else that's old and wonderful in that way. So, hello everyone, how's it going? We'll start with the usual live streams pleasantries. How's it going? I'm ibxtoycat. I'm having a good Thursday so far. I've had, honestly, to level view about how things are going, I've had one of the weirdest, I think to be totally straight, one of the weirdest days in a while where, like, I had an amount of work that I knew I could do, and like as soon as everything got like 5 minutes off jigger, I was like, oh god, I've got 4 things to do all at once, and I'm freaking out and not doing any of them. It's the first time I've had that in a long time, and it was a reminder that, like, man, every system that, like, looks like it's working really well can be quite close to breaking entirely. I think this is worth, you mean Tuesday? No, definitely mean Thursday. I'm in advance having a great Thursday. But no, yeah, I kind of realized something, which is that, like, everything in the world is very, very close to being broken. I think this is something that people realize maybe a lot more during the pandemic, where, like, oh, you can't just turn off the magical taps of the economy and expect things to work. But it's also something that's kind of come across with the whole supply chains changing just in time and all that stuff, where, like, all it takes is one minor delay somewhere in a system and everything else starts to break, because that's what, efficiency is. Efficiency is when you're operating at 100% of your potential, but any spare, unless it is something that is planned and regular, having something spare is having something wasted. If you have the ability to run, like 100 miles a day, and you run only 95 miles a day, then maybe, like that's leaving some space on the table. If you have, the ability to, solve a really, really hard jigsaw puzzle, but you only do a slightly hard jigsaw puzzle, you're leaving space on the table. This idea of efficiency has been on my brain for a while. But welcome Danny is that bomb and their viewers. Oh, that's cool. YouTube has like a feature where you can where people can come in and it actually says where they're from. Hello, welcome from the raid. I've just started streaming. I'm ibxtoycat. I live in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and I play Minecraft. Today I'm working on a sugarcane farm that's going all the way up to, the sky height. It currently does go all the way up to sky height, and then we're working on making it all the way down to bedrock. We're currently at Y minus 32, so we're almost exactly halfway there, and I feel pretty good about that. I feel like that's a pretty nice accomplishment, and especially because bedrock isn't actually at Y minus 64. You have to stop somewhere a bit before then. So anyway, yeah, if you're from Danny, let me know what's going on. How's the stream been going on so far? Went better than expected, says Zach Beck. Also, why no haste to beacon? When you're underground like this, it's kind of tricky to get going on. But I think one of the big things about this project is I'm using diamond pickaxes to get it done, which especially controversial is the fact that they're diamond pickaxes with efficiency 2. I think one of the changes I might genuinely make in this world soon, because for so long I've just been like, yeah, these are so easy to trade, why wouldn't you use them? And they're a good second best, but I think it might be worth investing some time in getting like a decent efficiency 5 book, and then just mass applying it to all of these picks. Because right now what I do is I slowly upgrade my pickaxes together, but I think I could do a lot better. Also, I just finished my world record melon farm. Congratulations. I doubt it's a world record farm though. I'm gonna go ahead and say, confidently as someone who has not seen this farm, that it is not a world record farm, and prove me wrong if you disagree. So, yeah, you gotta stop when the bedrock starts. Yeah, the actual bottom of this, you can tell, will be somewhere, so I'm gonna put down a torch. It's just kind of dark. Something about bedrock just makes it so miserable sometimes when you're down here, but you can see this is where the layers go. And the current bottom, oh dear god, there's a bunch of drown. Okay, scary, spooky. So there's just some drowns hanging out down here, but this is the bottom layer that I could practically do, where I could put some dirt in there, but the actual bottom is going to be Y minus 57. So this is what's going to be dug out, and there's going to be a whole thing down here. It's going to be very fun and exciting. I am looking forward, genuinely, to having a full layer of sugarcane down here, and being able to swim up eventually and find, I guess you'd swim up 384 blocks. It would be wild. But yeah, there's a lot of blocks that are going to be destroyed, and right now I use, you know, I think I kind of distinguish myself from everyone else by being quite utilitarian in my Minecraft world. I'm always a big believer in this idea of like, yeah, you should generally do the thing that is most efficient. You know, it's a problem I mentioned just now, but it's something that in general can make a lot of things in the world better. Like if we all just accepted that, you know, like there are some things that are, you know, take 10%, you know, they take 10% more effort, but give 100% more reward. Everyone should do those things, is something I kind of believe in. But also I believe that if something takes 100% more effort and gives you 10% more reward, that's probably not worth doing. If you had overtime from your employer, let's say, and the way it worked is for every hour you put in after 40 hours a week, they'd give you half your money per hour because you've already worked 40. You'd say, okay, I'll stop at 40. Whereas the way it actually works is they give you overtime to try and incentivize you to work these harder hours. And it's a big difference. Also, the fact that Toycat uses El Gato equipment, and gato meaning cats in Spanish, therefore it's cat. I was sponsored by El Gato really early on in the day. It might still officially be a sponsorship. It's one of those weird kind of sponsorships there, but yeah, it's a really interesting. It wasn't a really interesting dynamic. I thought. I think that in general, the cool thing about the company is they make like really good streamer centric gear. But there are lots of cases where if you know what you're looking for, you can find exactly what it is elsewhere. But I think that's one of those like efficiency points that like, well, but it's, you know, it's specifically if you don't know what you're looking for and you buy the streamer level version of the thing, you know it will be good for streaming. So if you don't know anything about lights, for example, you can just get a streamer light. Also, how goes your hiring hunt, says guy named the guy. Guy named the guy? You got a very good name there. I wonder how you came up with it. So yeah, this is the bottom layer of the sugarcane farm. We're gonna obviously have it go.
Hi, Toycat. I was wondering if you could free me from your basement prison so I can eat my daily dose of cat food.
Okay, you know what? Sorry to tell you this, Ponytail MC, but the basement is an opt-in, but there's no opting out of the basement. Once you're in the basement, you're in the basement for good. Appreciate the ask, but it's not happening for you. But going in the guy, so right now I'm currently hiring someone. This is one of those weird changes to YouTube. Like, one of the reasons that things are necessarily different is that the game has effectively changed around the idea of like, yeah, it is now almost an industry, a business. You know, there's a lot to be said around having a YouTube channel. And so one of the weird niches is I've started to expand. One of the things I've started really enjoying is the kind of spin-off thing I've been working on, which is toy maps. And so I'm currently trying to find someone who's really good at add-on style stuff. I mean, commands are also something that's incredible, but I'd really like to find someone who's like mastered their field, who's done really good and thinks they could, like, you know, make maps and understands the survival stuff we do here on this channel. If you're curious how the search is going right now, I think it's going pretty well. I've got like 3 or 4 good applications. I'm hoping I find some more. But yeah, it's not going terribly. It's not going terribly. I'm kind of trying to work out basically, like, should I go with more than one of these? One of the things in life, you know, kind of going back to the point about like how everything failed during the pandemic. Having like one point of failure can be bad sometimes. And so I've been thinking about like, okay, so should I go into this and, like, you know, maybe get like multiple things going on at the same time and then release multiple maps, see which one does the best, you know, do some form of do it that sort of way. But yeah, it's something I've been working out for. Also, too many YouTubers are retiring. Quick, imprison Toycat. I don't blame YouTubers for retiring, to be totally honest. It's entertainment has always had this thing of, it is an industry where everything is moving forwards, and if it's not moving forwards, if it's not actively moving forwards, it's going backwards. Like, moving forwards is standing still is going backwards, and going backwards is just vanishing. You should release Medieval House and charge like $30 for it, says David. Okay, I need to hire you. You are my, that's an analyst I can get behind right there. That's but yeah, I think, it's something you can look at, right? And so, if you're in YouTube because you like it a lot, then you can do it forever. But if you're in YouTube because you need to have something to do, you know, to make a full-time income for yourself, or you're looking... Also, thank you, Ponytail MC, for the 465th channel member. Should we talk about this, actually? There are a lot of YouTubers who have just announced their retirements, and it seems on the outside like this is a epidemic, like this is going to keep on spreading. Is there going to be any YouTube left to watch by the end of this year? But there's okay, let's be real. 2 things. 1, 2024, at the start of the new year, is always the time to announce a big, like, discontinuation of something, a cancellation of something, whichever way you want to say it. And the biggest reason for that is because, well, January is both the bad month for ad revenue on YouTube, so it's when a lot of creators consider quitting because of various reasons. But it's also just, like, people will wait for a new year to quit something anyway, right? Like, it's a, you know, new year, new you, and for some people that means a plan that they've had forever is finally gonna be going off. But the other side of it, in my opinion, I'm gonna take this Deep Slate Lapis Lazuli right here. I don't know what I need it for, but I'm gonna take it anyway. But so I think that's one big part of it. Hey, Nedoran! You know, thank you for becoming the 466th channel member. I've been working towards that goal again, 500 real members, and because, you know, we achieved it after the gifted member thing, but like it's gonna be exciting to get there. Also, returning wife, good to see you. Honestly, Tom Scott deserves a break. He's been consistent every week for a decade. So I'm proud to say, after a year of hard work, realm development is done. Look out for ibxtoycat on January 15th. I'll send you an invite link. Yeah, around the 20th, I'll be seeking worlds for February realm review, I think. I've got a lot I want to go through. So I think it could be a lot of fun. Okay, so I wanna talk about something interesting that's happened over the last while. So, my instinct when people say, oh yeah, someone needs a break, someone needs to stop YouTube, they've done it once a week for 10 years, is like, man, isn't that a lot of the platform at this point? Like, I know it's like different standards for different people, etc. But like, actually, almost every big, you know, a lot of YouTubers at least, that it is incredibly common, I will say that, for a YouTuber to, like, this isn't about me, but it's my instinct. Maybe because I've been doing YouTube for over a decade. It's like, yeah, a lot of the names I remember when I started.
And you hire me to eat your kebabs to make sure they're not poisoned?
Oh no,
Please and thank you.
Someone wants to take my kebabs, chat. I've got to worry about the kebab gobbler now. I mean, there are enough problems in 2024 without someone coming in and wanting to take my valuable kebabs. But yeah, I think my instinct is to say that is doing something for 10 years actually that notable? In every other industry, it's really, really notable. But on YouTube, it's like, yeah, I can, you know, there are a good dozen channels or so that have existed since 2005. So we're talking, they're coming up on 20 years. And there's a lot of channels that have gone in some form for 10 or 15 years. So that's, my instinct is to say, yeah, like in every other field, No one goes, oh yeah, actually, I think you should. I think it's fair to retire from being a supermarket worker after 10 years. I mean, after all that scanning, I don't blame him for wanting to quit. That's my instinct. My actual, if I was to sit down and really analyze what I'm thinking and what I'm saying a bit more, I think I would jump in and say, well, yeah, the thing about, you know, the thing that's different about a career in the YouTubes is that effectively every single, you have to make something so new and so exciting every week. And you know, there are YouTubers who don't make things that are exciting enough or new enough, and you just don't see them. So the reason a lot of people think that they haven't been seeing a video every week for the last 10 years from all these YouTubers is because YouTubers like, yeah, you don't care about this one. Don't worry, we'll skip that one for you. We'll get back to you when you've got a video worth watching. Which is, you know, like one of the reasons it's so hard for the people you are seeing. They know they are competing against so much on YouTube. Whereas, like, you don't have to show up to work every day at the supermarket and worry, like, oh, yeah, unless I impress my boss enough today, he's going to make me work all day and then he's just not going to pay me at the end. That's like I think that could stress you maybe after 10 years. My girlfriend is from the Nation of Imagination, says MS. So here's the thing about Imagination Land, right? Imagination is something exclusively, actually, if you've got an imaginary girlfriend, are you allowed to, hypothetically, right? Just pure hypothetical. Are you allowed to, like, punch your imaginary girlfriend? That would be domestic violence, right? Is that okay? Are you allowed to, just torture them? Are you allowed to, I want to know the answer to all these questions. Are you allowed to frame them for a crime? Are you allowed to conspire to commit your imaginary friend's murder? The answer is yes. But also, is it? That's my question. Anyway, we're going to keep on digging down. I've got a very consistent pattern that I'm following, in case you're wondering. It makes perfect sense, and if you don't understand it, it's you. It's not illegal, but it's messed up, says Larry Plant. Is it messed up? This is an interesting point I heard recently. But, like, is the point of imagination to do the things that you don't do in the real world? Or are you meant to use imagination as a way to only do things that you think are okay? By the way, I've been using the inside half of the We Will All Die Someday mug. You might recall that. Oh, interesting. I can't show it to you because the light's over there, but the camera's over there. So you just get... I've got the We Will All Die Someday mug. It comes in 2 halves. I'm using the smaller half, and it's not enough for my drink.
I was also wondering
So I've got to be very
how
careful.
review works. I've wanted to show you mine for a long time.
The answer is I clearly need to have a more consistent setup for, like, in terms of how many worlds and exactly how to decide between them. I think what I might have to start doing is, like, scouting them out ahead of time and working out that way. But the way it currently works is if you send me your world, I jump aboard it and I look forward to it. I think in future, it'd be nice to be able to, like, filter out and be like, okay, build something that's like this by this time. Also, it's messed up or something they did on themselves by not subscribing to ibxtoycat. Exactly, ordinary man. Exactly. I guess technically, but he committed a crime in the first place just to blame a fake person, then that crime is itself a crime. Yeah, if you commit a real-world crime, that's bad, regardless of which imaginary person you blame. But if you commit an imaginary crime, that's okay, because there's no victim in the real world. If anything, because the victim's in your imagination, it's a self-crime. Every time I've got an imaginary friend and I punch him in the face, that's just me that I'm hurting. I have to look my imaginary friend in the eye. No one else does, at least currently. So, yeah, the interesting thing about imagination is we think about it in kind of like kid-like sense. Like, oh yeah, sometimes I imagine a clown and I imagine a dinosaur and I imagine a dinosaur dressed as a clown. I've got such a quirky imagination. It's how we genuinely talk about imagination that way. But at the same time, that's not actually like, the actual the things that really represent imagination, the things we don't like to admit are imaginary. Things like, for example, constitutions. There is a physical written document somewhere, right, called the Constitution, but the idea is imaginary. Things like, rules and norms, cultural standards. These are all things we made up as a collective. They are powerful because they're shared across all of our imagination, but there are lots of things that are entirely imaginary. The idea that murder isn't okay is imaginary, right? There's no physical law stopping you. Whereas, for example, I don't know, like, This hat right here, it's not imaginary. What it represents to you can be imaginary. You know, it's an elf. That's an entirely made-up concept. There aren't real elves. But there is a real hat there, right? This distinction between the real and the, you know, the metaphorical, the shared imagination, the shared delusion, is one of the hardest things to wrap your head around because of how ingrained in yourself it can be. If I mention, like, I don't know, a Homer Simpson, for example, you will know who that is, even though he's very much not a real person, because there is enough media about this fake person, and that's the same thing for the Constitution.
Did someone say Toy Cat needs kebabs? Say no more. This is my specialty. Odin will be sorry to ever see you go, but understand the desire for a bit less pressure. Dizzy face. Dizzy.
First thing I want to say is, today, I had real big plans to eat healthy. I was gonna get myself a salad. I was gonna eat some vegetables on top of the salad. It was gonna be crazy. And then I got like a message while I was on the way to like get my phone fixed. That's like, just so you know, we can just give you £10 off an order. You know, £10 off a lobster roll if you want it. Just 10 quid off, but it'll only be valid for a week. It'll only be valid. It won't be valid when you get back. It's valid today only for you, basically. And so I had to get a lobster roll, covered it with some very spicy sauce. It's burning my insides right now. But I had a lobster roll earlier, and my life is feeling good. Thank you to everyone that makes it possible for me to just hear, like, £10 off a lobster roll, and then just immediately get it. It is, you know, some people, so like, the point here, before we dive into fiction, because, you know, the idea that I have, the idea of a job already is kind of fictionary, but the idea of YouTube is even more so. Like, one of the hardest things about this platform, maybe, is the fact that the bonds that you make with subscribers, the parasocial bonds, let's be clear, the parasocial bonds we're making here are entirely, they're entirely parasocial and they're entirely fictional. They are entirely inside of our heads, but it kind of relies on you agreeing and me agreeing at the same time. Like, yeah, I will make videos, and then if you could watch them when you want to watch them, things work. It's an agreement that works because it's in both of our heads. One of the reasons YouTubers fall by the wayside is because their subscribers forget, or honestly, maybe their subscribers watch a video and they don't get what they wanted out of it. And they go, I'm not sure I want to watch the next one of these. You know, they're not guaranteed that consistent hit of dopamine, and so they go, no, I'll wait for, you know, I'll wait for the next one. Then the next one never comes, and you know, technology makes this more brutal, but it's existed for long before the YouTube algorithm. Like, there is an art, you know, the idea of a one-hit wonder. People listen to an artist and they go, this is incredible. The James Blunts of the world, where someone goes, oh yeah, I love this man when he sings and says you're beautiful in it. But you know, like, then he's gonna put out another song. Oh, I bet it's gonna be real good. I'm gonna totally keep an eye out for that. And then you forget. You don't see it, or you do see it and you think, yeah, I'll get that another time. But another time, you know, never comes. And it's something that has happened forever, that the relationship that exists between producer of, you know, content or art or, you know, whatever media, whatever, how you want to describe this weird world we're in. The relationship is always going to be one of, like, yeah, there has to be an agreement made between people that are thousands of miles away with entirely different life circumstances. I mean, I'll be honest, I am very fortunate to, hey, I got some diamonds. I'm grateful for the fact that when I see diamonds, I don't have to mine them. I have enough diamonds that when I get an offer for 50% off a lobster roll, I just hit yes immediately. You know, whereas for some people, you might argue that's also, thank you, Doc Wolf, for becoming a channel member. Thank you for helping me towards my my 2024 goal. Raymond's not diamonds. Sorry, yeah, I mispronounced the word. We all do know this is pronounced Raymond. It's a commonly known fact here on the channel. Also, when are you gonna do Realm Reviews as BH? It's funny how popular Realm Review is. I love looking at people's worlds. And it's interesting that people love that enough too. It's one of the most common questions we get here. Everybody loves Raymonds. It's true. But yeah, making this like very long form agreement is real hard. And what about, like, oh yeah, one day, you know, like, maybe I'm not feeling so good. Maybe, you know, I'm having a crisis. Maybe I'm trapped abroad. That's happened to me once. then you know, like making that means that like I can fall on my end of the deal, and sometimes it can be like, yeah, well, I'm going through some stuff. I don't want to watch your things, and that's also entirely reasonable. It'd be silly to say that wasn't. Also, congratulations to Fred Dirt for becoming a channel member. I believe some people just got gifted. Hey, who buy? Do. Thank you, Tracy Coletta, for gifting some people some memberships. All of these new members, you can now enjoy. So here's something fun. Tomorrow's video is one of the coolest challenge runs I've done in a while. And it was so cool that we didn't know what to cut, so we made an extended version, and it'll be available to members. So you can watch the extended version if you want to. It'll be a lot of fun, I think at least. So yeah, thank you to Tracy Coletta for allowing 10 more people to enjoy it. I'm envious you get to travel so much. Don't really have that luxury in the States, says Kyberman YT. Yeah, one of the... Okay, so it is weird to me that to travel internationally... This is the problem. When your country decides that it wants to expand too far, and it wants to do so contiguously, you're screwed. I feel this for Russians too. Like, if you want to go east of Russia and hit a new country, you've got to go all the way to the US or like Alaska, or eventually to China or something. It's like, if you go east in Russia, you're just in Russia forever. An infinite amount of time. And the same thing's true if you want to go any direction but north or south in the United States. You know, you can, and it's a very weird situation by comparison that like, oh yeah, I booked a £20 flight to Seville where there's oranges growing on the street just so I can make a casual geography video. That'd be a very different question if you're like, oh yeah, I just want to quickly go check something out in Spain, see what Gibraltar's got going on. Thank you, Tracy Coletta. And indeed, thank you to all the new channel members. Hey, you know, how they keep pouring in. I thought I knew when 10 was, but I don't. So, I want to talk about retiring from YouTube, right? Because if I'm going to try and give you the most analytic, in my head perspective here about why YouTubers do it. YouTube is one of those rare jobs where you make more than the average on if you do well. Like, I think it's either YouTube is either not a job or you're doing much better than average. There's a lot of people earning less than minimum wage on YouTube, but it's because they're following their passion, either because they one day want to make a lot more than minimum wage, or because, you know, like it's worth it to do something they love for less than that. I would say, if you look at my second and third channels, like those are objectively not making money. They are, if I did those things full time, I would be in a very bad situation. But thankfully, I can afford to spend that amount of my time on it because I have, you know, in this case, it's a main channel to back it up. But the same idea is something that is fairly common. You know, like having a, I think it's fairly common at least, like to roll the dice and make it big or not. It's the same thing with, I guess the equivalent would be like acting, but it's the same thing. Like, there are actors who make 20 million, and there are actors who have to work in an IHOP to make ends meet, right? It's not unexpected. It's, in fact, very expected. Also, Shed, thank you very much for the tips. Can't play Java on Linux. Hope you respect my choice. Oh, yeah, if you, like, they said Bedrock would come to Linux, and then they just stopped caring, apparently. And so if you physically can't play it, I don't blame you for playing medium salmon version. Anyway, so one of the odd things about the distribution being that way is it means that you are, well, if you're at the top of your game, then staying there might be hard for you, but you ultimately, you're in this, like, it's called, I think the word is called a golden pair of handcuffs. And like again, I'm not trying to garner sympathy for YouTubers. I'm trying to explain to you my understanding of why YouTube is quitting. So, if you are Tom Squat, Tom Squat. If you are, you know, which is, I guess, Slavic, Tom Scott. But if you are Tom Scott, and you're making, like, you know, look at, like, I think it's clear to any YouTuber that's like most of $1 million in a year. You're making most of $1 million every single year, but in exchange, you have to hire a decent number of people. You know, you have an ad person, you have someone who manages, like, on-production shoots. You need a camera person. It is a multiple-person job. There's just no way around that. So you're managing multiple people, and every single week needs to be a banger. You know, like, you've got this dream job, but it takes everything from you. It is the 80-hour work week, or what do you want to say? So the idea is, also, what's the drink today? I've got one of those Christmas baubles, and I put it with some Starry. I brought some Starry with me from the US. I think if I'm going back to the US, I don't need to keep a weird drink in my fridge anymore. But yeah, if you have a £1 million a year job, you might think it's the dream. But how many years do you want to work that job before eventually it's like, well, the stress is not worth as much as the pain. And so that's why people quit YouTube. They're effectively turning their £1 million a year job into a £100,000 a year job. Or if you're really lucky, into a £750,000 or £500,000. And that's also understandable. Also, thank you, Sophie Hawkins. Hello, Toycat. Happy New Year. How are you doing today? Hope you're well and had a nice Christmas and New Year. Are you looking forward to the potential for new 1.21 stuff soon? Or more 1.21 stuff soon? So, Toycat doesn't pay his editors enough, says Kara. Yeah, one of the things I've actually discussed this about, like, when I first started employing people, it was stressful for me to work out how much to pay an editor. Because there's so many different, I think it's such a interesting dynamic of like, yeah, you need to, so just to clarify, I pay, there's an interesting thing in here. But one of the things I want to say first is that I am looking forward to new 1.21 stuff. I think it's pretty exciting that we're finally getting this Infinite update. And also I want to clarify, because I assume because Kara is a member in chat that they care. But if you're curious as to why one of my staff members has a second job, it's because he genuinely wants to be in person. I'm not, you make me share his details now. This is the worst thing about, like, someone makes like a random accusation, you gotta be like, you're not meant to dedicate time to this, you're meant to ignore them all. But if it looks like you only ignore the ones, and if you respond to any of them, now it looks like every other one I'm ignoring is like that. But yeah, I think a lot of people choose to pick up a second job. I remember a YouTuber I used to watch was like, yeah, I now earn enough from YouTube to do this full time, but I still want to have a second job to, like, get out of the house and do some stuff. It's a fairly common need to be like, if you think about it, it's kind of wild. We're socialized in an environment like school where, like, every day you show up and there's people there. And then at 18, they just say, yeah, go work it out yourself. And a lot of people think it's the dream, but you don't realize how much you're, like, neglecting your social side. And Cast the Tours making a video on my channel. Some people say $10 a video, others say $60 a video. Oh, yeah, there's... also, Toycat, is there a chance you could try Linux? I don't think it's for me. I know it's for a lot of people. I think it could have been for me about 10 years ago. But
I feel Mojang has lost what made Minecraft amazing. Minecraft from you went from a fantasy sandbox game to an animal awareness class. There is a difference in game design in old Minecraft and after Microsoft purchase.
Yeah, so Minecraft is spending a lot of time... I want to be the most charitable I can be to Mojang and say that they don't do those things because they really care about, you know, animal environment rights or whatever more than they care about good game design. To be charitable to, again, I try to be charitable to causes I don't agree with, because that's how you actually get around with it. But if I also Toycat pays too much, evened it out for you. You know, it's true. I'm gonna go speak to the editors. I'm gonna cut their pay 10% now. But no, more seriously, I think I think Minecraft is at a stage now where they get into controversies for things no one would have cared about a while ago. And so, you know, like, a controversy about Mojang trying... Also, wow, that was weird. Did you see it spawn before it spawned there? It spawned in dead. That was very, very, very odd. You know, honestly, getting this many slime balls, just kind of tangentially in the background, might actually be pretty useful. It's nice that when I work on this, I accidentally get something useful. Toycat should rename himself Positive Pizza. How does Toycat pay too much? But I'm literally employed by him and made the thumbnail. And he pays me. Also, Big Salmon says that Toycat does pay too much. And that Big Salmon is in fact employed. You can see their blue name. They made the thumbnail. I don't know what the thumbnail is. Can someone describe it to me? You know, I'll leave it as a secret for after the stream. Like I said, I've been having a very, like, chaotic day. And so I didn't have time to make a thumbnail. I was like, you know, let's stream. Streaming is more important than a thumbnail. Rather than delaying the stream another 20 minutes, let's do it that way. Also, Big Salmon is a Toycat employee. You know what? I have to admit, I did in fact employ Big Salmon. I saw Big Salmon's potential in Minecraft Bedrock. I realized how emblematic they were of the game as a whole. And so I had to employ a Big Salmon in my company. Don't we all? Sometimes, don't we all? The thumbnail's funny, Toycat. Okay, you know, I'll look at the thumbnail. I'm going to discover what this is for the first time with all of you. What does my thumbnail look like? Oh. Okay, you know, okay, that's factual. If you look at that thumbnail, you can confirm I pay my employees too much. I flop on a laptop and then thumbnail comes out. You can't not have a Big Salmon in your lives. It's true, Catfeeny. It's 100% true. Okay, so yeah, if you're a YouTuber, you have something called golden handcuffs. And this is a really, I think this is a concept that is the most like out of touch privileged one to have. And so I'm going to have it on other people's behalfs. Because I don't think I'm in a situation where I have any golden handcuffs on me. I feel like I am living a dream, and I think I can do this for many, many years to come. I think the only hard things that come now are like employing people and running the business side of things. But you know, I had a Big Salmon, and the Big Salmon flops on the screen and makes employing decisions for me. Works out weirdly, you know. Sometimes you pay $70,000 to edit video. Sometimes you send an invoice for $300 and ask for a lobster roll in exchange. No one understands the preciseness of these things. Anyway, if I make a Big Salmon mascot suit, will I be employed by default? You know, it's if you make a Big Salmon mascot suit, then you're gonna be in a good place. That's what I'll say, Beth Alter. Send in your applications now. But more seriously though, yeah, the hard things to me, the things that stress me about my current job is like actually employing people and making it work, because I want to make really good stuff, and effectively all of the other stuff gets in the way. If you know, like with all the extra editing work that is required, it's like, well, that makes things harder because now I need to schedule editors as well as make videos. When thumbnail standards get higher, it means I have to be really good at planning a thumbnail as well as doing a thing. There's all these extra skills, because even one of the weird things about YouTube, unlike every other industry, like if I was just selling logs, you know, if I was just chopping down logs and stuff, you know, this is complaining. I'll come back to my point after I finish on behalf of Tom Scott and the game theorists and whoever else have announced they're quitting. I've heard there's a lot of them out there, but the thing that the thing that a lot of these places have in common, or have as a shared problem, is that they're effectively, you know, like having these really, really, you know, good paying jobs, but they have no time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And that's a really, really, it's not even first world problem. That's like effectively a rich person problem, but it is still a big one to have. Like in the real world, when you start earning enough, you become required for some problems. Like if you become a 6-figure or 7-figure earning lawyer, you have to be there when there's an important case, but you'll still get holiday time to go and really make the most of that money. Like there's this fun paradox of the working world, which is like in countries where you can in the countries where you can actually work to one day be wealthy, is if you work really hard to keep increasing your wealth, you will never enjoy the wealth that you are working for. It's something I think a lot of people struggle with. It's one of the things I think I mentioned. So I recently learned about the death of my mother. I like some more details about it. It took a surprising amount of time. I don't think you're meant to wait 3 months to learn about the cause of death. But the thing I really took from like a family, you know, my only parent dying is like there was shit, you know, like she would say repeatedly, like, yeah, well, you can't enjoy this when you're dead. And I'd be like, wow, I mean, I bet you'd enjoy your 60s a lot more if you didn't think this stuff. But it's wild. What's wild is like, no, actually, she made the right call. And any trade-off she made from, you know, like make the 60s slightly less good, but make right now better, is a win if you don't make it to your 60s. And so, yeah, a lot of people will tell themselves, like, yeah, at some point later, when I retire, or, you know, like, etc., etc. But there's a big problem in, like, actually enjoying the fruits of your labor. And so I think that's where a lot of people get to. They're like, I want to have free time to pursue projects. Because if you think about YouTubers, they made, they made a career for themselves by doing something goofy that at the time, usually for most YouTubers, didn't make any money or made basically no money. And so if these people made something really cool in their free time, not having free time to make stuff is actually a detriment. I sometimes think about that. Like, one of the... I get asked all the time, like, oh, Toycat, if YouTube didn't kick off, what job would you have? And it's like, you know what's funny? I would probably eventually have done YouTube, but in a different industry, in a different field. Like, in a... I might be like a... I don't know, like, well, maybe I would have eventually decided to make videos about flags or whatever else. But I think that's the funny thing to imagine. It's like, actually... like this idea of like being passionate about some field and wanting to share things with people is a whole, this is a website where you can get paid for that, but it's a thing that exists everywhere. Like every other social media has huge creators who post every single day, and they do so without getting compensated. On Twitter, you might get paid a couple $100s a month. On Instagram, I think you get paid up to. There is a limit to what you get paid, but they will pay you on Instagram at a certain point. By the way, do you like my diamonds? I like my diamonds. I have to mine them before I go too much further down. But it's very, very satisfying. Having fun with flags. Also, where do I sign up? I got some good news for you. I got into flags recently on the second channel. They should give you one of those TV adverts where you travel the world, or TV shows where you travel the world and eat food and make videos. It's a really common thing in British TV. I think, so one of the weird things about the UK having government-owned media, or at least government-owned, basically. We have government-funded media, maybe, or at least tax-funded media, is that the very, very top of our talent, for a country of 65 million people, 70 million people now, so for a country to have that many people and with a major market of people consuming it, when you make it big on the BBC, they can't pay you that much more. There's a few people getting paid more than like a couple $100K a year. But where people would make millions a year in America, like the Leonardo DiCaprios, etc., the British equivalents either go over there and they make their millions and they keep doing movies and plays, or you stay in the UK, you get paid a normal amount, you get like a nice home and a nice car, etc., etc., and then you get a show every now and then where you just travel the country or travel the world and you go, this is delicious. Oh, yeah. And you start doing fun travel experiences and you justify that they're for work. The reason I'm on this luxury cruise line is to see, luxury cruise line's really worth it. This is the angle I want to go with my, this is my, like, plan to break the golden handcuffs. It's right, not that I have any. I've got a pair of copper handcuffs. But the plan is, if you want to know my, like, equivalent to retiring, it's like, yeah, I'll make the weird BBC travel show. You can come along with me as I do some weird, weird things, eat lobster rolls, etc., etc., etc. And it's not the same as having it be paid for by my employer, but as long as it is for video reasons and exclusive video reasons, it's very tax efficient. You get a nice 40-something% refund from the government. It's a whole thing. Also, Purist golden handcuffs are softer,
Videos
so easy
about
to break.
flags.
Hey!
Toycat is turning into Sheldon. Oh, and hi. Happy New Year.
Okay, so Emily, first of all, thank you very much. Merry New Year. How's it going? I hope you're doing great. I love to see you, Emily. Okay, I have to say this right now, Emily. Kindest name on this channel. There's not been an Emily that's come into chat where it's been like, oh, no, not Emily, not Emily. But I have to say, been very, very lovely people. Happy New Year, hello. And the funny thing is, in the early days of my second channel, a few of my family, like, in entire jest, including my mother, were like, your channel is entirely fun with flags, because you talk about geography, such a Sheldon thing. Because, the Big Bang Theory was, like, the first time that, like, nerd, it wasn't, like, actually nerds or geek culture, whatever you want to call it. Like, it was laughing at nerd culture, but it was effectively mainstreaming it on some level. Ooh, it's very cold here, by the way. I have copper handcuffs as Toycat 2023. Yeah, you better watch out. Next time you find yourself in a room with me and a radiator, you better watch out, because one of us isn't leaving it. Although, pro tip, just break your hand, and you can get off any handcuffs. So I'm going to use my Neverite pickaxe just to get this whole batch here done. There's a lot of tough, and I want to get rid of it all. But yeah, the fun with flags is it's a little thing that's happening. I like flags. I think they're fun. And if you think they're fun too, then you should come along with me. Also, thank you, Josh Jones, for becoming the 468th channel member. Thank you to everyone. It's my last stream for a little bit today, so I've got a little bit of a trip upcoming. I'm going to what might be the world's most dangerous country. And so if I'm going there, it's a little important that I work. If I'm going there, I need to do a few days either side of it. Need to plan for the inevitable craziness. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, why are you having trouble mining? Because it's tough. Mining sure is tough right now. Has to be said. But yeah, David Solomano's thing was a joke. But it is like, at some point you have to work out what is it that you are doing the hard thing you are doing for. If you set your sights too long, you'll forget about the short term. If you set your sights too long, though, you'll always forget about the real life term. Every single day, you know what's crazy? Almost everyone who dies leaves money behind. And if someone you care about dies, that can be great. Like receiving a big pile of money. Oh, do you want to know something, Internet? Actually, so I'm not inheriting anything, as best I know. There's some fun reasons about why, but I'm not coming into any inheritance anytime soon. But there's an interesting thing of you know what, we're not going to talk about it. Sorry, I hate to do that, but there's like a legal aspect that has been presented to something recently in my life that means that some loss could become someone else's financial loss, I guess. And it's something that's like there's something really interesting to me because like I've had to then confront the idea of like, you know, does making someone else pay for something, does that make things different? Also, I wish I hadn't. It was complicated and sucks. You know what, Kat? I offer a service. You know, actually, anyone in chat, I offer this service. If you come across money that you don't want, just put my name in all the details, and I will deal with it for you. I will take a 40% finder's fee. You know, obviously, you know, I'll take 100% finder's fee. I'll take the whole money. I'll buy lobster rolls of it. I'll have a great time. It'll go towards the budget for my BBC travel show, where I go around the country and go, oh, that's just delightful, isn't it? Over and over again. And yeah, if you want to fund it via your will right now. But yeah, I think more seriously, I've been taking notes of the incompetencies between. Okay, I got it.
Remember to put Toy Cat in your will.
You know, if you think about it, right? David Solomano is right. The best way that you can tip a streamer, the best way you can pay your Toy Cat tax, is by writing your will today. You can do it if you just have 2 witnesses in the UK. Write your will today. And just put Toy Cat as a beneficiary. If you want, you can put a very normal amount in there. But I would just say, put 10%. You know, 10%, I think that's a reasonable amount to, you know, if you've enjoyed these videos any amount of your life. And just say 10% of all the money goes to Toy Cat. Just, you have to word ibxtoycat, YouTuber. You have to leave a link to my channel. Maybe a contact link, but like toycatassistant@gmail.com. Make sure you put all these details in there. And shameless lol. It's actually the best way if you think about it, right? If you really care about something and you can't give it money while you're alive, make sure it gets your money when you die. Because the reason you shouldn't give things money when you're alive, the only valid reason, right, in my opinion, if you care about something and want to give it money but can't, the only valid reason is that I would like to spend that money on something else, or I need to keep that money in case I need to spend it on something else. Like that's, you know, like if you want to, being cautious is it's not a faultable trait. I don't blame you if that's you. However, if you're dead, you've ran out of things to spend money on. You have literally hit the limit, and so, you know, just saying. Also, my will contains no money, only guardianship of my son. I don't think you want to be named on that. You know, I'll take 10%. I'm in. Ruby Doo, put me in. I'll take my 10% ownership. I'll make it work. I'll make it work. So, Kat, are you trying to gaslight us into giving you our money? I mean, isn't that what every streamer's doing on some level? Isn't every streamer effectively saying, oh yeah, here is a thing that I'm doing. Please give me money if you like it so that I can keep doing the thing. Is like if you think about every platform it's kind of a similar thing. That's what every YouTuber is doing when they release a video. You're not giving a YouTuber money directly. You give them your time to watch an ad, which gives it. But they are saying the same thing. Anyway, 10% of her son. Yeah, I'll take 10% of the son. I'm in. I want it. I feel like that's a good investment, right? That's a. I'm a tad worried. Like I won't keep 90%. I don't want majority ownership. Like someone else can have all the voting shares, etc. But I'll take 10%. That, like, you know, imagine if someone offers you 10% in Apple in 1994. You'd go, ooh, yeah, I don't think this company's gonna go anywhere. But if someone said it's free, you would take it, and then later it might be worthwhile. Maybe this 10% becomes, you know, I'm a big believer that it's worth. It's always worth having 10%. So you have his, okay, or you could go the other way like Tyler Kowalskis is going, and I get his arm. I mean, I don't know if I want just a random arm sent to me in the mail, but you know, if that's what's 10% of a garden ship, maybe watching every stream. Yeah, I mean, like every 10th decision in his life, I would get to make. So okay, what are we gonna do about healthcare? Not my responsibility. What are we gonna do about like long-term plans? Are we gonna have like a way to fund this care in the long run? Who's gonna be responsible for this, that? These are all questions you can have, and then it's like, what do we want for lunch today? And it's like, nah, this is Toycat's decision. Lobster rolls for everyone. This is how I should do it. Even 1% of Apple is a ton of money. Yeah, if you had, just to clarify, by the way, if you had 10% of Apple right now, you would be the wealthiest person on the planet. Let me confirm that, actually. So Apple is worth about 3 trillion, and the richest man, it was Elon Musk, but it's not anymore, right? Richest person in the world is currently, okay, it's still Elon Musk at 229 billion. Man, that's crazy. I heard that Twitter was valued somewhere in the low tens of billions. It's crazy you can spend tens of billions on something and it'd be like a tiny percent of your portfolio. It's like when you buy one share in a company you care about. That's him buying the entirety of Twitter. But yeah, if you had 10% of Apple, you'd be the wealthiest person on the planet right now. I don't think you could sell it without attracting. You'd have to go become a resident of some other country or something. But yeah, you could do it. Also, Beth McNabble, hi Toycat, how are you? I'm doing pretty good, thank you for asking. Hey, Nick Bob, I'm too young for a wilt, but I'll change my work life insurance to give you the money if I die at work. I hope you enjoy your upcoming break and stay safe, man. Thank you. I hope your work will accept famous YouTuber ibxtoycat and then my email. But if they don't, you know, we'll work it all out. Also, I'm gonna buy Toycat Enterprises and put in my 401k. I did. Being a publicly listed company is something very few YouTubers pursue, but it's something that is starting to become an option, I think. So, the world of YouTube is, it used to be like this weird hobbyist site, but as it became like a serious way to make money, now you get all sorts of weird interests in. Also, the difference between a million and a billion is a million seconds ago is a week ago, and a billion seconds is 1996. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, a million seconds is 32,000. It's, you know, it's a big difference in time that makes people realize. A lot of people use that as a stat to say, like, and that's why we shouldn't have billionaires, because no one can't imagine having that much. But what's interesting to me is, like, I wonder how long having multiple let's say you get paid $1 billion a year, you know, not the pennies of millions a year as like the biggest name YouTubers, you know. But if you're gonna make $1 billion a year with a B, how many years would it take? Also, Tom Scott has a publicly listed company to make podcasts with now. So even then, we're talking about publicly listed. So every company in the UK, every limited company, is publicly registered, but it's not publicly traded. That's what usually public company means. For example, I can buy a share in Apple, and if you think about that, like, everyone understands that inherently, but isn't that weird? Like, someone founded Apple at some point, and I can just decide right now I want a share of his company. And it's because effectively, when it goes public, it stops being anyone's company anymore. You know, Tesla, everyone thinks of as being Elon Musk's company, but he owns 12% of it or something. In the modern world, you know, they're owning a company kind of limits the scale that it will ever grow to. But in theory, you know, I think there are some large private companies Anyway, so it's confusing unless you add listed on an exchange. Yeah, I think in general, public company is when you list on an exchange, because that's when you're saying I want to raise a bunch of money. But here's something wild you might not know about internet. This stream was meant to be giving you an existential crisis, but instead I'm just telling you all about YouTube. Popping in quickly to say hi to everyone. Hello Ash, how's it going? Give us a teaser for the video you're working on. It's one of the I teased it like a month ago, but it's one of those videos I've been excited about ever since. So I'm curious to. I want everyone to be hyped, but I want you to hype them. Do your best. So one of the things that also got into funeral service, and my husband's family company just made bank on my grandfather's funeral. Yeah, no, that's the funeral business is insane money. Because again, dead people have run out of things to spend it on, and there's only one thing left that you have to. This is crazy. I had to learn all of this recently, so I'm going to share it with all of you, internet. So once you die, you stop being capable of making financial decisions for yourself. That is not surprising, I don't think. What might be surprising is your bank account gets frozen as soon as your death report makes it to your bank. They freeze your bank, and the only thing they'll approve is either probate once it's all gone through the legal system to say who gets it, or they'll approve funeral expenses, and there's like a really narrow band otherwise. You run out of agency over your money. Also, Ash says, hey, okay, was there more of that? Okay, I want to see it. Damn it, I wanted to make decisions after I died. Apparently it doesn't work that way. Also, okay, no, I did miss Ash's hype. I'm excited though. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm putting all this pressure on him. You know how this happens when someone's like, yeah, there's this great thing they've got going on, and it like freaks you out. You're like, I don't have anything great.
It's funny that anything that goes wrong with Minecraft is Microsoft's fault, but anything right is oh no Jang.
It's one of the things I think as a community we probably need to get over or get better at. I think, you know, saying Mojang has done so much wrong is a popular opinion, but at the same time, it's kind of missing a lot of reality, isn't it? I think like many opinions out there, it's easy to say, but hard to actually be correct about. So I'll make all the positive decisions now. For lunch on the day of my funeral, you shall have Thai food, says Handsome Dan Players. Okay, first of all, but one more thing. JRK, I want to say, this is called, I think, there's a word for it when you have diffusion of the public good. So, in the same way that if something good happens at Tesla, you might say, yeah, good job, Elon Musk, because you think it's his company. If something good happens at Apple, there's no one person that you thank. And so, all the good things that Apple does every year, all like 2 of them, you don't think about those. You will probably be focused on the 7 bad things they did this year. You hear about they were really resisting the idea of having USB-C until they were regulated or something like that. Like or the same with like big government bodies. People hear about the bad, but they don't hear about the good. So I also should be 55% tax after running 125k, not 45k. You know, you're letting people know that you're British right now, Larry Plant. It's a wild situation. But yeah, so what's going on? I just joined the stream. So today I'm talking about kind of some YouTube stuff, about how, given that there are so many YouTubers who are quitting the platform, and given that there are, there's a lot of YouTubers like cutting back or quit. I think I was kind of talking like candidly about the inside look as someone who's been doing YouTube for 12 years. 55% time for a revolution. Oh, you think that's bad, David? You know, this isn't a public conversation, but there's a tax rate in the UK where you effectively are paying 66% tax because you lose your national insurance. You also get taxed at 40-something%, and then also you're paying national insurance on it. It means that in reality, like there's a wild like incentive to just not earn that money in whatever means possible. But yeah, I think it's something like 100 to 120 something K. It's a very, very, very high band. And you also get one between 50 and 60k. And then also if you live in Scotland, you get it between I think 40 and 50. There's a lot of like weird like tax systems that don't properly know how each other work. Anyway, sorry, we're not talking about taxes. Although actually, you know, also wasn't the Beatles song "Mr. Taxman" inspired by they have to pay over 100% tax 1 year? Yeah, it's really funny to me because nowadays we see art as being like very left-leaning, and you would generally say that, you know, like being for lower taxes is the opposite of that position. But I think as I understand, I do happen to know this one song from the Beatles. As I understand, the song is about the fact that at the time, their tax rate was something like 83%. And so even though they're earning all this money and really they're making Britain's reputation huge overseas, they're getting taxed 83p in every pound, plus paying national insurance. So they're getting taxed some insane percent. And then if they want to spend any of that last 17p, they're also paying tax on it. Effectively, it's like, yeah, if you earned anything in excess of that number, if you were very successful back then, it's like, thank you, congratulations, you are now paying for some government stuff. And so they were not happy with it. Yeah, so with that said, you can, plus you can give so much to your spouse, tax-free. Yeah, it's a, okay, I'm not gonna get tied into a tax conversation, but if you live in the UK, look into your tax options. There's so many weird, like, loopholes, and the truth is like, as I understand tax, after looking into it enough, is the way it works is if you just pay the headline rate, that is effectively the you want to pay maximum tax rate. And then there is like, well, if you're willing to look into the loopholes, you save a little bit here in exchange for doing something the government wants, like put some money into your retirement, etc., etc. It's a weird system, but it works. Also, I always thought that was meaningless anyway. They wrote that while high, or that was the Strawberry Fields. I think if you look at most music from the early days, it was all meaningless. Like before they had writers, there was definitely a lot of just let's do some serious drugs and then see what music that makes us want to write. Anyway, sorry. Okay, it's not so the reason that a lot of YouTubers have these golden handcuffs, and because golden handcuffs usually refer to this idea that at a company, let's say you work for a big company that makes motors, and they say to you, you make motors so good, and we will give you a guarantee that we'll pay you $100,000 a year for 10 years, and after those 10 years, we'll give you $1 million bonus unless you leave the company. Usually the idea of golden handcuffs applies to the idea that you have to work for 9 years. You're being trapped. You're being handcuffed to this company by money. You can leave a company, the only penalty being you won't get a bonus. Like, it's not even just they're gonna fine you. It's not like when you park on the side of the wrong street and you have to pay a fine. It's, yeah, we're not going to give you this money. It's kind of the system that I mentioned is how knighthood works in the UK. It's like, the reason you've got to be a decent person in the UK, partly it's for personal moral reasons, partly it's for this or that, but really it's because you want a knighthood at some point and you won't get one if you're being too terrible. It's a weird reality. It's a weird country, but we all live in it regardless, right? We all live in it regardless. So, yeah, it's called the idea is called the golden handcuffs because you're stuck to it. And so a lot of YouTubers have this equivalent where it's like you have again, I'm just gonna make up the numbers because for every YouTuber it's different. Like your dream job might be as low as 50, it might be as high as multiple millions. If you know the Mr. Beasts and the PewDiePies of the world earn several million, whereas the the more medium channels, the Tom Scotts and the Game Theorists, they're just earning like $1 million. Oh, can you imagine just a single million? Oh, so but the thing about that job is it's not like if you were a high-end lawyer and you could make let's say you're a lawyer and you're making $1 million a year in client sales. If you took a year out to go be on a 9-month cruise ship, or if you took a year out to just, go find yourself in South America, you could come back to it. And so, it'd be very easy to just decide that, yeah, actually, I'm going to come back to this, and your reputation wouldn't vanish. On YouTube, if you go away for a year, that might happen. There are YouTubers who take 6-month breaks, and by the time they've gone back, they're entirely irrelevant. It's wild to me that it's true, but it really is. And so, yeah, it's golden handcuffs these days are typically restricted stocks. However, they start to vest after 1 year, and the UK is, and in the UK is taxed at 59%. Are you saying vested stocks are taxed at 59% in the UK? I've never heard that, but it sounds I believe that, but also that's a wildly high rate, huh? It's that we had a government not that long ago that was like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lower tax by about 10% to encourage people to invest in the UK. And people went, oh, yeah, you wanna, and then like the whole world imploded. We had like our debt downgraded. We had a huge crisis, and now it's like, okay, we'll just keep things how they are. We call those sweetened stocks in the US, I believe. Yeah, the idea of vesting stocks is really interesting to me because a lot of companies, people have this problem of they get paid. So I believe what David is talking about is this idea that you get a bonus every year, but you get the bonus for, you get paid last year's bonus as you find this year's. And so basically you have to keep staying on the treadmill or you'll lose the last year's bonus, which you might have already spent. And so, big problem. Sorry, best/sweater joke. I was like, you know what, sweeter sounds believable. Like, okay. I could believe like, okay, it's like sweating because like it's working so hard. I was believing it for a second there. I was really in. Evening, sir. Hope you're doing okay today. Well this week, and well this year to be specific. The great thing about, okay, actually, I've been mood tracking. So I've been tracking a few things this year. One of the things I've been tracking is how much I've been working every day. Just to, like, I'm curious by the end of the year. People always ask, how long do you work? And I say, somewhere between, like, 30 and 80 hours a week. But I never actually, I never have a good answer. And I could just make up an answer, honestly. That's what most people do, I'm sure. But I like trying to work out the actual answers to questions. And so one of the other things I've been doing is I've been tracking my mood every day. So I can give you a statistical answer to how good am I doing in 2024 so far. Do you want to find it out together, chat? Okay, so I just got my phone inside screen changed. I don't know if you can see my phone. I'm gonna open it right now. Okay, so can you see my phone? Not very well. So if we look at the graph, I've had they've got a frequency here somewhere, I think. Yeah, there we go. So I've had 2 9 out of 10 days, 2 7 out of 10 days, and 2 6 out of 10 days so far. Wait, how many days have there been? I think I'm missing some days. Oh god, okay. Oh, because I added it after the second. So, nice folding phone, Toy Cat, thank you. I recently, I had to remove the screen protector today. I went into the store and they're like, that's a US model. We can't touch that here in Europe. So you're gonna have to live life dangerously and just remove your screen protector. Because I had some dust trapped underneath it I wanted to fix. When you're working with yourself, you're both always working and not working most of the time, says Josh Jones. Yeah, it is one of the weirdest parts of self-employment. Creating fiction of your mouth, not lying. Yeah, the idea of ranking my mood is already fiction. So you know what's also, you know, like if you think about it, my how long I've been working after tracking is still a fiction of what I measured every day. Which, you know, like what even is work? It took me 2 hours yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm about to go on a trip, and so I like to have everything done before I go. Just so every day I can decide what to do and not, oh god, I need to do this or everything goes terribly. So one of the things I decided was like, oh yeah, I'm going to organize my social life for the next, you know, week after I get back. So I don't have to think about it. I can just like, have it be done. Anyway, so, also, what's with the YouTube? Okay, Larry Plant, thank you for asking this. What's your opinion on YouTube adding the For You on every channel page? I hate it. When you find a YouTuber that you want to watch more of, you just want to see their videos, and I think that eventually it will be the new norm. Like, yeah, you go to a YouTuber, you see the For You. But YouTube is trying to slowly erode the idea of channels. YouTube is trying to say, yeah, if you make stuff and YouTube doesn't want people to be fans of YouTubers. They want to be fans of YouTube, and that's wild. So this is something I took from a MatPat video actually. It was, if you ask people what TikTokers do they like, no one can name any. They might be able to describe them, but they can't name them. They wouldn't ever be like, oh yeah, that person's great. You know, and that is a problem for those TikTokers, sure. but it's also a problem for the internet as a whole. If you're a fan of Twitter as opposed to, you know, the weird menswear guy on Twitter or the guy who talks about the things on Twitter, you know, like if you're a fan of just Twitter as a concept, then the creators have no agency. And so YouTube has always, I think, resented the fact that people are fans of YouTubers. Like, oh yeah, I like YouTube, but I really like watching, you know, this channel, the Vlog Brothers. I like watching these people. I like watching etc, etc. And so I think there's a really, really big problem, a surprisingly big one, in that YouTube would like it so that YouTube would like it if you weren't a fan of their YouTubers, but instead their platform. And so they're trying to curate it more and more and more to make it that way. And it just, I get why they're doing it, but that doesn't make it less infuriating to me. But again, that's me as a YouTuber I'm talking. Like, it's also me as a consumer, though. I think I like to be fans of... I like to find YouTube channels that I like to watch. I think that's gotten harder and harder to do nowadays. But yeah. Also, why is the search on YouTube? Okay, yeah, I don't know if they're talking about it, but I want to... This is also driving me crazy. This is actively... I have been theory crafting about this forever. I could make a 12-hour video essay on this. YouTube is going genuinely bonkers. Have you seen, if you haven't ever done this before, try to YouTube search something right now. Find something really niche that you know exists. Like, search up, you know, like, man escaping sewer grate in New York City. Also, he's Jewish, but... By the way, it sounds so anti-Semitic to talk about the Jewish man from the sewer grate. It's a real video, but it feels like you're making some weird point. But... like, try and search for something specific. It will give you 3 results. It'll be like, here are 3 things that might match what you're searching for. And then it's just like, on the same search page, as if they don't tell you it stopped. In fact, do you want me to show you this? I've got to show you this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. This blows me away that this is real. So I'm gonna open my browser. I'm gonna go to YouTube. And I'm going to try and show you a YouTube video. We all love watching those YouTube videos, right? I hope we all like watching those YouTube videos. Okay, I'm going to youtube.com, and I'm going to show you my screen. So this is my second channel. I don't watch it, so I get recommended weird things. Funnily enough, look, there's the Goodbye Internet video. But I'm going to go on YouTube, and I'm going to search some really weirdly specific video. Minecraft, I don't know, like Minecraft, Jurassic World. It's a very specific video, right? So I find 4 examples, 5 examples, 6 examples, 7 examples. Viewers also watched. Okay, this is funny. It's actually done a good job for this. Everything's Jurassic World so far, and then Minecraft. Thanks for watching, and it's Stampy quitting. Jurassic World, Minecraft X Universal, and it just gets worse and worse till it starts being entirely unrelated. If we try to, you know, Jewish man, sewer grate, New York. There's a very specific video I would like to find. I can't find it, 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 can't find it. And then see how easily a rat can wiggle up your toilet? That's not related. That's not what I searched for, is it? This is madness. Hashtag shorts. This is so not related. Unless that man is Jewish and that is a sewer that I just don't see. You know, like this is kosher. This is related to one of the words I searched for, and then it's unrelated things that are just about Jewish people. Then it's about pipes. It's like, what? How is this? Wait, what is? I've got so many questions. About how YouTube decided this was okay, but they did, and so that's where we're at now. Anyway, with that said, it's for you. I think that is one of the weird problems of the modern internet is we're moving away from having a cultural phenomenon and having more specific stuff that is just for you. That is what TikTok did so well that every other platform's trying to replicate. Is it said, yeah, there is not going to be popular videos and unpopular videos. There's things that work for individuals. And that is actually clever when you think about it. It means if everyone's feed is different, it means it's like, oh, I want to watch... It's like everyone having their own channel, but not their own channel to make videos, their own channels to find videos. It's a weird concept, but it seems to work, at least, right? And so that being so popular means that now everyone has their own... You can't search something up without being unsure about what's actually going to show up for you, which in my opinion is a problem. But, you know, that's me being an old rickety man. Maybe instead, it's actually really good. The demographics that watch YouTubers, despite hating YouTube, is probably in the minority. But it's vocal on the channels on watch. People think it's a public resource, like the part of the internet. It's a weird thing about social media as a whole. It got me thinking when Twitter was going through its thing. Like, Twitter is a private company, right? It's a company... It used to be a public company, funnily enough. But it used to be a public company to those who owned its shares. Not public in the sense that just, yeah, it belongs to everyone. But yeah, it feels like a public resource. And that is something odd that I have noticed. Is that social media feels like a space that we all kind of own. And I wonder if there's anything you can do about that. Is that okay that we all feel like we own something we don't? I mean, you could argue that the same has happened before. Like, if you go to the mall, the shopping center, that's a private company, but it's also a public hangout place, right? Even governments depend on Twitter, lol. Yeah, that was the, one of the weird things about the whole, about the thing about that one president who's not allowed on Twitter, but maybe he's allowed on Twitter now, but he refuses to make an account. The weird thing about that is the idea of, like, yeah, how should anyone have the right, if, you know, the company was very, very left-leaning and anti-Trump as a concept, but they were also struggling with this idea that, like, but someone so notable not being on Twitter would be effectively not allowing people to hear their ideas. And it's the problem with deplatforming more broadly. The idea of, like, everyone on the internet should be able to say their thing, and then it should be up to users to decide if it's good or bad. In the same way in the real world, you wouldn't say if someone's like... You wouldn't be having a conversation with someone and they'd be like, you know, I've just been thinking about this, like, that maybe, you know, maybe these people... coming in here and doing bad things to us. You wouldn't go, woo-wee, woo-wee, woo. Someone call the police. This person needs to go to prison. They had a bad opinion. They should not be able to say that to any other conversation partner. But when you're doing it, like, on social media, it feels like a public space. And it's this weird mash between public space and private space. And so TikTok and the YouTube Shorts and every other algorithm out there is blurring that same line in a very similar way, if you think about it. Is they're coming to this same problem of, they're reaching the same problem and conclusion that is, well, you have your own space. It's not public. Also, they do call the police on bad opinions in the UK. It's one of the things I'm least proud about. In the UK, we have it's generally accepted in the UK. There is a policing shortage. Also, I went all the way up and I didn't empty my inventory of anything besides slime balls. I cannot believe I just did that. I looked up Crochet Star Garland on YouTube, and the second video was a short about crochet goblins. Oh, crochet genitals. Okay, it's even funnier. The stream keeps going out of sync with the real time, lagging me. Is that a thing for you or me or you? It could be on you. Try lowering the quality. What if Minecraft made their own social media platform? How about we all stop using regular social media and we all start using the best form of social media, which is... Where is it? How do you access it? Is it here? Oh, I did it. Okay. Social media #blessed. So I'm gonna share that. Yeah. That's my social media. Also, thank you, Bug! Paying my taxes. Also, sorry I have to use Super Chat. Streamlabs is incompatible with my card type. You don't have to answer any if you don't want to. I'm curious, what type of card is Streamlabs incompatible with? I would love to know. They do have Realm Stories now, so even better. Let's use carrier pigeons. Yeah, if anyone has a message they'd like to share, so get it done via carrier pigeon. That seems right to me. Where did that post just go? Says David. Oh, I went to the Minecraft social media, obviously. I hope you weren't keeping up, clearly. Toycat for president, anyone? I had to admit it, but we need 8K HDR 500 FPS of funny cat memes. I'm sorry to say that I can do my best to provide that, but I can't guarantee anything. You know, I'm going to take these diamonds home with me now. I think now is the time. I'm going to drop the slimes on the ground. I'm going to pick up the diamonds. And I have to work out some use for these. but I'm gonna work that out later. Also, I just left a diamond there. Whoopsie. So we've now got 9 more diamonds to add to my stash. What should we do with 9 diamonds, chat? I could build a diamond ore desert well if we could just find a half slab of it or a regular slab. But yeah, Brandon Barr says you're not leaving us this year too, are you? So I'll be honest with you. I seriously contemplated like not leaving the platform, but my exit strategy, and I've been doing that for every year, but it's been getting more and more serious over the last few years. Because last year I had a very serious crisis on the channel. It looked like for a while there's gonna be a company taking a large amount of money and sneaking it to fund their losses and blah blah blah. Throat war in the ocean, like that Titanic. You know what? That's not a bad idea, Beth. You know, actually, no, I'm gonna say that is. I'm not gonna do it. Bad idea. So YouTube's my social media. I mean, with the stories, or what's it called on YouTube? That weird option where you can community post. It's how I announce these streams usually. Because isn't it wild, by the way? Sorry, this is old man yells, so I'm just give me a second. Isn't it wild that for me to announce my live streams, the ones I'm doing on YouTube, I have to use another YouTube feature and say, hey, I'm live on YouTube? Wouldn't it be great if YouTube told you itself without me having to ask it to? Or if there was a button I could press where it would give people that same notification they get for the community post? Okay, my point is over now. I'm all good. It's cute you think you're old, says Cat Beanie. You know, it's scary that every year I think as I'm getting older, I'm like, oh no, this was so impossibly old a few years ago. How much worse can it get? It's scary to imagine that, you know, like my definition of old is going to shift. At some point, me right now is going to be me in my prime. I'm going to look back at this stream and be like, Toycat, you were just about to do this thing. You're a very blessed situation right now. Hopefully not. I usually get YouTube community posts announcing the stream the next day. That's the best time to watch the live streams, I think you'll find. I wish community posts sent notifications. It's so annoying that it doesn't. Oh, so they don't notify people. How do so many people see them then? I'm gonna do a quick test. I'm gonna do a community post now. I'm gonna just grab my community post. Okay, I'm just gonna go there right now. Chat, what should I type? Tell me what my community post text should be. Hello, I'm streaming right now. Come check me out. Yeah, you know, that sounds good. That sounds just wonderful. Hello. Okay, so we got this lovely. Okay, so Toycat server meme for engagement, and then we're gonna say streaming for the last time I'm streaming the last time for a couple of weeks right now. Hanging out in the Let's Play world. Literally just hanging out in the Let's Play world. Literally just hanging out in the Let's Play world. Talking about YouTubers, quitting, and more. And then I'm going to link the live stream. Okay, where's the live stream link? There it is. Okay, I'm going to see how many people see the community post versus the live stream. Usually, it's always something wild to me. Like, the number of people... I can't get a link to this live stream. I'm going to click that, maybe? Okay, can anyone find me a link to my own live stream? It doesn't work on YouTube. I'm going to have to, like... Okay, I'm gonna make this work. I moved it to a different tab. Copy, and then we go to paste. I got it. I got my own link working. Okay, and then we see, so I just posted that. The one from yesterday got tens of thousands of views. Let's see how many this gets by comparison. Okay, let's do it. Community posts very often show up on the homepage for the mobile app, so that's probably where most of the views come from. It is weird if you think about it, that that's not the, you know, I'll stay focused. I'm gonna move this over there so I can see your comments some more. And there we go. It's not a Rickroll link, I hope. I hope it's not a Rickroll link too. So now we can look we have 350 viewers at time of speaking. Let's see how many people find this stream that wouldn't have otherwise found it because they see that community post. It could be 0. It could be dozens. I don't know. I'm doing the experiment to find out. So, yeah, YouTube is a tangled hidden web. It showed me your character one from yesterday. Does everyone just get YouTube community posts a day late then? Am I actually getting a bunch of live stream viewers for tomorrow? Hello from tomorrow if that's you. Hope you're having a good one. Let me know in the comments if you are. I saw the community post. Why'd you see the community post? You meant to be watching my live stream. Wow, I feel betrayed. But no, so the idea of fictions go quite far. I'm gonna pick up a point from an hour ago and we're gonna finish it now. Have you ever seen Toycat and Batman in the same room though? I personally never have. Just mentioning right now. But oh, by the way, we're making some serious progress. We went down from like 33 to minus 41. Like 2 more streams and we'll be down there. Yeah, we will. I see it sometimes before, sometimes after. That's so interesting to me. I'm gonna have to go somewhere and just destroy a whole bunch of chests worth of dirt just to fill this area, by the way. It's gonna be worth it though. I got in my time machine and came back to tell you I saw the community post tomorrow. Oh, awesome, living Murphy's Law. You've got to see that tomorrow now, though. If you don't, then that breaks the time loop and you end up dying. And probably breaking the universe, too. So, also, thank you, Bird for Life. And Ned Oren. I'm glad you all saw it. Okay, so now that we've mostly discussed the YouTube thing. I think there's one last thing I'd like to leave behind on this. The idea of golden handcuffs is kind of approached, but it's also a weird one because it is. I think one of the things people don't like is losing their freedom in some way. Cat to cat.
I just got back into Minecraft after burning out post-nether update, and your videos and seed recommendations have made an enormous positive impact in my life.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm surprised how many people like do burn out of Minecraft and go, yeah, this is the end for me. It's entirely understandable on the one hand, but it's also unexpected on another. So sometimes I'll go to some channel to actively look at an announcement on community posts. It is what it is, an extra feature, not entirely redundant one either, says Nate. Very interesting. Also, I'm really glad that I made a positive impact in your life, Cheshire Cat. I think it's really cool that the recommendations have made a difference too. I did recently a best 10 seeds of 2023. Might be like up your alley if you really love seeds and you want to just see like the very best of the best. So yeah, to finish up this point I was making about YouTube. Also, by the way, it looks like viewers went down 20. So 20 fewer people saw my live stream because it came in out as a community post. Maybe people were just leaving anyway, but it's just interesting to me. I was expecting it to go up by like maybe 20, 30, but it went down 20 instead. And I think that's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I think we got kicked. I think the weird thing about the weirdest thing about YouTube and maybe quitting it is that it seems like a good decision on a mental sanity level. It would be nice to do something else sometimes, is what I think anyone who works in the creative field says. Like, how am I going to come up with the next good idea? My last big, truly viral video was 69 ideas for when you're bored in Minecraft. That was the last video of mine to hit 1 million views. It might not even hit 1 million. It might be like 750,000. But that was my last big hit. And then before that, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been 22 things you're doing wrong. It was like a fairly classic normal video, like, okay, nothing too special. And then before that, there was a big seed video that like really just hit people's spot. It was either like, it was something like, people accuse me of cheating, etc. And then before that, it was 10 builds you shouldn't make. So there's like, if you think about my last 3 years of making a video almost every single day, what it really boils down to is I made 4 incredible videos that people loved so much that they went crazy viral. And then I made a lot of videos that hopefully made a difference to people, but that an algorithm said wasn't very worthwhile. And that's like a struggle. And that's where I think a lot of people go, I don't want to be at the whims of some algorithm. I don't want the value that I've provided at the end of the week to be determined by some machine. Or if you are going to have it be determined that way, I want to be so good at this that every single time I swing, I hit. And that's a hard task, right? Like, but it is the task that I think is really, really hard to constantly go for. It's like making the same level of content day in, day out for years and years and years is hard. But doing that and making it better is my goal. Every day I have to consider like, oh, how can I talk slightly better, more communicatively? How do I make the video slightly better? Is there something wrong I'm doing with the background gameplay? Is there something I can do with the editing? Is there something about the thumbnails that are better? Every day something needs to be better. You don't want your whole life goal to be being controlled by an AI. I mean, you say that now, but it's so yeah, I think the answer of like why, you know, like, are you consider quitting is like, no. It is, I would rather take a break, come back fully recharged, and then work it out from there. Also, doing the popular thing or the thing you like. Yeah, that's a big creative paradox, is that to be successful, you need to do something popular, but we all have things we like that aren't the popular thing, and maybe for the best, but even working out, for example, what is trending right now? I'm going to go on the YouTube trending page. Is there a trending page anymore? There is not a trending page. Oh, no, there is. Okay, so trending on YouTube right now is Sidemen versus 40 YouTubers Ultimate Hide and Seek. Okay, that's not a trend, though, is it? There's Reddit is a mess. I got robbed. Getting this 20-year-old lake. The hidden lore of... You know, there are some videos that are doing well. You know, but like there are some trends on there. The Apple Vision Pro, there you go. Like, how do I tie an Apple Vision Pro into Minecraft? Play Minecraft, but on the Apple Vision Pro. That's a good idea. Let me buy one right now. They can't be that expensive, right? Apple Vision Pro UK. It costs, if I want to get my hands on one, I could get it for the low price of. Oh, no, they're not available in the UK yet. Well, okay. I could get one for the low price of $3,500 US. I could then record it. You know, there we go. It's a good idea. That's actually a fun idea. You know, I would actually love to play Minecraft on an Apple Vision. It can't be that expensive, says Harrison Gray. Harrison, do you wanna go halves on an Apple Vision Pro? Do you wanna split one? Skibbity Toilet is always on trending. Oh yeah, Skibbity Toilets, but it's Minecraft is one of the weirdest, most unhinged parts of YouTube. Can you stream on a VR? You could, but it would probably be really weird. You might need a more refined setup. Harrison's gonna need an advance. I do think there's a Skibbity, my friend. Good return on investment, I'm sure. Apple should totally do a collab with Mojang to make Minecraft Apple Vision Pro Edition. I'm sure you'll be able to play Minecraft Pocket Edition on it. Genuinely, the idea of playing Minecraft on something is like a real sales pitch, right? Can you stream on a smart fridge? That is also another fun idea. You know what, chat? Tell me what's trending right now on your section of the internet, and I'll tell you how I'm gonna make it into a great Minecraft video. I'm gonna make a good idea out of your virality. What's viral in your section of the internet and your personal little trending page that you have over there? What's going viral on yours? I need to know. Okay, so we've got a little thing here. It goes up nice and high, and now we can work on destroying some more. Don't even have Better Call Mac yet, let alone a 3.5K headset. Oh, that's a good point. Speaking of good sort, thank you so much, Cheshire Cat, for becoming the 469th channel member. I really appreciate it, man. I cannot say enough that I think it's so cool that 469 people have decided to support the channel. I've been working towards 500 members for so long. I remember it was like 2021 when I first set that goal. I know we technically like breached it for a month or two. Like getting actually 500 members and consistently 500 members is such a dream, such a goal, and I hope we make it there. Mexican Trending has a family YouTuber welcoming a baby, so you might have to start a Minecraft family. That's a good... I could start a Minecraft family. We've got something called I Got Robbed is on trending. Okay, so how about I get robbed in Minecraft? Chat, who wants to rob my Minecraft house? You know what, let's do it. Let's work it out. We can make this happen. I'm too young to join, but if I could, I would, says Tringo. You know what? It's okay. I hope to see you in 10 years talking about how I'm totally quitting YouTube next year. Thank you, ibxtoycat, for becoming the 470th channel member. Okay, now that we've gotten past all the serious YouTube chat, I want to kind of just bring it back one more time to talk about the fact that, you know how YouTubers are saying they're quitting and they're getting a ton of views on their videos? I've got a secret for you. I've got a secret. Every one of these videos where they say they're quitting, it's not that they're stopping YouTube, it's that they're dialing back what they do. They are taking what they are doing on YouTube and they're saying, I'll do a little less of this. In Tom Scott's case, it's him stopping the series. It's a very common thing to say, yeah, I have done something for a very long time, it needs to end, so it can make space for something new in my life. Abandoned furnace minecart, will it run after 15 years? That's a good question. Only one way to be sure, right? Only one way to absolutely find out. Really appreciate your hard work and generally have enjoyed every single video of yours I've ever seen. Thank you. Okay, so you might have to make an exception for that soon. So I recently, again, chat, don't call me crazy for this. But I recently got obsessed with the idea of, I want to make tutorials so people are getting back into Minecraft again, right? This is a thing that happens every year, and so this January I want to do the same. Towards the end of January, as people are like rolling back into Minecraft, I want to have some tutorials. But one of the most commonly searched things about Minecraft is how to chop wood. It is the first thing you do in the game. I have no idea how it's so searched or who is searching it. But so, you know that thing where YouTubers will take something that could be explained in 10 seconds and make it into a 10-minute video? I want to make a 30-minute video on how to explain... I want to make an hour-long video on how to chop down wood in Minecraft. I want the whole thing to be a tutorial on chopping wood. I want this to be the most fully featured tutorial on wood the world has ever seen. And, yeah, just as a heads up, I think that will be happening fairly soon. I'm excited for it. It's one of those ideas that I can't get out of my head. And so, just remember, next time someone says they're quitting, that the alternative is they start making hour-long, looking forward to Let's Play 601 now. I think a 45-minute video would be reasonable, says Janko Drake. Or rather, Janko Drakic. You know, I do think, okay, you know what, let's compromise that maybe an hour is too long, maybe 45 minutes is the right length. A 45-minute length video on how to chop wood in Minecraft. It's one of the best ideas I've ever had. You know, sometimes when you're making art, as we definitely are here on this channel, sometimes when you make art, you have an idea that you love more than all the other ones. This is going to be the 20 million view video on my channel. It's going to have more views than all the other ones combined, and I'm just excited for it. I hope you're excited for it too, internet. But if you don't make it an hour, you might have to admit some very important details. Yeah, every single second is going to be valuable. It's going to be required. It's going to be great. Also, make it 1,000 years long. I really do. Every time I see like a 14-hour video, I'm like, you know, I want to make a 15-hour video. The only thing limiting me, honestly, is the fact that YouTube streams are capped at 12. I think that might be fun to do might be fun to do some of those. But yeah, if YouTube made their live stream longer than 12 hours or longer recording than 12 hours, I think I might have aimed for the longest stream record already. Sadly, they have not. It is a big disappointment to me. But yet we must make do anyway. So now we're going to put some ores away. I've got some random lapis here. I'll put the rest of the cobbled deep slate in here. I really am running out of slots to put this at this point, but it's fine. And then I'm going to fill up this shulker box before I come back to It's gonna be just wonderful. It's gonna be the best. So now we can put the cobbled deep slate over. I don't think it goes in here or here. You know, I'll just leave the cobbled deep slate on me. Put the slime balls away because I've got them anyway. Ooh, well, let's do this. I just finished my story, by the way, and you know when the air comes out of your nose, it's the weirdest thing. It feels uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's like a really nice warm air, so I don't mind it too much. Okay, so I do the first day in Minecraft real life with a real axe. I also had an idea, right? So yeah, tell me what's trending in your life, and I'll tell you great ideas I have for it. By the way, like I'm gonna get robbed in Minecraft. Someone's gonna come into my Minecraft world and steal some stuff, and I'm gonna use stand my ground laws to make sure that they don't have a very good rest of their day. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. What do you mean it's capped at 12 hours? I saw a YouTuber do a 24-hour stream very recently. So they capped the recording at 12 hours. You have to either stop and start the stream, which is what I have to do every time. You either stop and start the stream, or you can go for the alternative, which is just have it not be recorded. They're both fine options, but still. Make sure you have a something to 5 bow, a power 5 bow. It's an important part of chopping down wood, I think. It's a very important part of the process. If you don't have the right bow, then what's even the point of trying to go? But yeah, there are quite a few. A lot of people who stream on other platforms can make 24-hour VODs. You just record the whole thing. It's a YouTube specific problem. It's a very YouTube specific problem. It's an annoying YouTube specific problem. Also, wait, this isn't the right deep slate. Wait, chat. Okay, tell me, am I? Bear in mind, I've got a big bright light on my face right now. I'll turn it off or turn it down. Can you see any green? Oh, I've been unnecessarily shining a bright green light bright light on my face. Is the cobbled deep slate on the right of this chest different to the cobbled deep slate on the left? Because this looks like it's grey and this looks like it's black to me. Am I going colorblind? It looks like there's different items in here, but the game is telling me there's not, and so I'm starting to doubt myself. I don't know what to believe anymore, chat. I just don't know what to think. Okay, I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna load it in there. Nope, you're going a shade blind. You know what? That's an entirely acceptable consequence, I guess. You're seeing stone. Maybe your monitor is well, blame the monitor. Checkmate. Boom. Not me. It's a monitor problem. So, one of the things that I think comes to mind when we have a new year coming is kind of that finality of the previous year closing down for good. It is genuinely scary in a way that with a new year, the previous year is gone, because it means that no matter what you want, you are not achieving more than you did in 2022. No matter, or 2023 as well. And so it opens up a world of possibilities, but a world of possibilities is scary. I think this is the weird thing I was saying about, like, people, even though it sounds like the dream to have some golden handcuffs, to have like, oh no, someone's gonna pay me a lot of money and all I have to do is stay at my current job. I think for a lot of people that is scary because you are being locked into a certain path. But what's also scary is having lots of paths and not knowing which one of them is the right one. You know, there is a potential version of you that becomes an astronaut. There's a potential version of you that cures cancer. And then there's a potential version of you that's dead on the side of the road because they did one too many drugs all at one time. It's a scary thing to make decisions. Every decision you make, in the multi-world theory, the multiverse, whatever you want to call it, this many worlds theory of having lots of different parallel universes is effectively just saying every time you make a choice, you divide the world in two. Every time you decide between two options, you are telling the world, there is two versions of you being created. There's a version of you that did the thing and a version that didn't. This is how you get to an infinite number of parallel realities, because there's an infinite number, an infinite variety of yous that did do something, and an infinite variety of you that didn't. But when you're faced with all these choices and you're faced with this world of possibilities, it's like, God, how do I make the right one? Even something as simple as like, what do I have for dinner tonight? It's just putting food in your body. It doesn't matter in the long run. It's a big one, right? you can mess that up. You can get that wrong, and then how are you gonna feel? The answer is bad. The answer is, oh man, I was meant to do something and I did it poorly. And now think about the bigger decisions of a whole year. This year is a big one for me. This will decide the future of my channel. I'm not gonna be too dramatic about it, but like I said, like there's been this is a year that I have to knock it out of the park on YouTube. You know, I can't keep making 45-minute tutorials on how to chop down wood, as fun of an idea as that is. This is a year I have to knock it out of the park. And I have some ideas on how to do it. But if my ideas are wrong, if my strategy is wrong, I'm out there. There's a big question about January. So January is the worst paying month on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers will choose to stream more. A lot of YouTubers just take the month off. Some YouTubers take the rest of their career off. But, you know, January is a great month to just leave the platform for a bit, just take some time off. Many people have decided. But that means that for creators who stay, you've got this alternative of like, well, you can stay and work for, you know, like half as much, but potentially, you know, like make some subscriber growth. Or you could switch to streaming. You could switch to short form content because that barely paid anyway. Or you could use the time off to recover and have those best ideas. What is my next version of things you shouldn't build in Minecraft? What is my next version of that? I don't know yet. I really do not know yet, but I'm excited. Hope you do more traveling vlogs like the one you did in Gibraltar. I love that one, says Maximilian. Yeah, so my plan is to do a video for my Haiti trip and then a video for my overall, like, time in the United States of America. The one will be second channel, one will be third channel. You know, I deliberately make it near impossible to actually follow what's going on, but I'm glad you like it. You know, it's the pilot episode for my BBC TV show where I go around the world and try dishes and say, oh, yes, this is absolutely delightful, isn't it? You know, I'm doing my trial for that. It's gonna go well. So I hope it's gonna go well. Also, yes, says David Solomana. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna eat some good food. I'm gonna have some. It's gonna be a real good time. I hope. You know, I'm saying it's gonna be a real good time, but that's me. Who am I to trust? Should you be trusting me that way? But yeah, I think one of the things I want to do in this Let's Play world is make sure I find some efficiency 5. That is an important step. Also, do you have a cat? Says TR Triangle. Is it Tringle maybe? I do in fact have a cat. The cat is called Cookie, and she lives with someone that I'm not related to. And so that's sad, I guess. Honestly, actually, you know, that's a good point. 105 minutes is up. You know what, Tutor Cat? I got ya. It's more than 105 minutes of philosophy and making you have a crisis. The world needs a new guy to go eat food in war-torn countries now with Anthony Bourdain gone. That's a good point. You know, the world needs this. I'm gonna do my best. And so let's see how it goes. Okay, lots and lots of fellas jumping at me. None of them are my issue though. Did you feed Cookie to your parrot? You know, if I did feed Cookie to my parrot, I would I'd get in trouble on a public relations level. BBC, British blogger cat. Something about saying British blogger cat, BBC, it just sounds like you're saying something inappropriate. I don't know why that is. It just feels like I'm laughing at something I shouldn't be. But you know, all good things are inappropriate in a way. Just stop talking about stuff that causes existential crises then, says Everett Lewis. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Have you ever considered the fact that you have a certain number of days between the day you're born and the day you're inevitably gonna die, and you don't know what that number is? You only know that it's going in one direction. Every day it goes down. It could be that there's tens of thousands of days left, but it's still going down either way. The day that you wasted, the day that you barely got through, that was one of your days on the clock. That was if there was a clock telling you, the clock would be like, wow, really, that's all you did today? That's fine, I just assumed you were going for more. It'd be a really judgmental clock. But that would be what the clock would be like, huh? We are all gonna die someday, merch plug. Wow, I sure am reminded that we're gonna die someday. I go to ibxtoycat.store and get myself these heart-handled mugs. They're so fun. I've heard they've started selling knockoffs of these in Target. I've heard, but they don't come together to make 2 for 1. And most importantly, they don't remind you you're gonna die someday, as we all need. Anyway, so there we go. More seriously though, I think it's not just a question of like what you're gonna do, but it's like, am I gonna have done something good? Are people going to be, you know, the most poignant description of what happens when you're gone, I think, is from Keanu Reeves, who just says, I don't know what happens when we die. I just know that those who love us will miss us. And I think it's the most real way to view the situation, that you have to make an impact. The alternative is, you know, like you have so long to make an impact on so few or so many people, but it is those small things that will make the difference in the end. Some people might remember you as a great person. Some people might remember you as an okay person, but it's down to you to decide how they are. Every day is a chance to do something better than you did it yesterday, says Kevin Trash. Wait, is that Kevin Trash? It's Terran Tosh. Man, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. Has that ever happened to you before? I feel like I feel like you've got to be extra cautious about like something like that. Where like, oh, if someone else has said that before, that probably hurts. But yeah, I've been lurking for about 90 minutes. Good to see you, Christopher. I enjoy your content because you actually seem to be enjoying what you're doing. No, I hate Minecraft. I hate it so much. Why am I even playing the game? I like working on these big projects, because look at this. Just today, you can see the line has gone from about over there to about down here. I've now gone over halfway down, and so I've just got to go from here down 2 more layers to 54, I think 57. So I've got like a very few blocks to get done, and then I've just got to find some dirt to cover this place in. I might go destroy a cherry grove biome some more, maybe. Yeah, it seems like a good idea, right? When did I get a membership? Thanks to whoever it came from. You're a diamond cat too, so it's even more curious how you got one. Nobo, he had a existential crisis when he read his obituary in the newspaper. Maybe time travel ain't so bad, says Tudacat. Yeah, just for anyone who doesn't know the story, the person behind the great, now I'm thinking of my kids grieving me. I mean, it could be worse. It could be the other way around, right? But I think to tell a story, maybe a useful one, because you know it's not the things are happening either way, right? I can't change whether anyone lives or dies or when that happens. But what I can say is a story from Alfred Nobel, the man behind the Nobel Prize. He made a lot of money selling TNT, you know, weapons of a form of destruction. And so when someone dies, newspapers have a obituary ready. So there's already an obituary for King Charles, for example, at every major newspaper, so that when they die, they can just hit publish. It's kind of like what I do with update videos recently, where if you know exactly what's in there, you can kind of pre-publish it. Also, thank you, my first Toycat tax. Thank you for all the great content and lessons on Minecraft and life in general. God bless you, sir. Toycat is yes. Thank you. God bless you, sir, too. God bless you too, sir. Minecraft mining ASMR for real. Let's go for a long, consistent mine. Let's not have any breaks in it. Let's just always be mining a block for a bit. It'll be nice. Oh no, I messed it up. Okay, from now on, no more breaks. Obituaries are saved that way, and that's why everyone had an obituary ready for the Queen, etc., etc., etc. And so Alfred Nobel found his obituary because it was accidentally published. This happens all the time. And he just realized that after reading about himself after his death, he wasn't happy. It was a fairly negative one, supposedly. But it made him realize that he had all this money, but if he died, it wouldn't have any meaning to him. And so he set up the Nobel Prize as like a perpetual foundation to award people for their achievements in science, basically. There's some real weird Nobel Prizes. The Nobel Peace Prize is the really weird one, in my opinion. But the idea of just having, here is a cash grant and an award is really, really clever as a way to make a legacy. You always need people to care about that and make sure the money goes well, etc. But it's still absolutely fascinating. How many deaths have you had in your world? I would love to see the stat for that. I don't know it myself, but I would love to know what it is anyway. So, Toycat is deep in the mine, says frog in a minecart. That is factually accurate. Are you going to turn the updated sugarcane farm into a big project video? These are always my big favorites, especially when they contain out-of-context stream clips, says Balo999. So I really want to do the, I really want to do big projects. It's basically the future of the Let's Play. Like I have to pick 2 directions for the Let's Play. One is either it's big project videos, people can see what I'm up to. Or it can be, you know, like the standard Let's Play style, and it's just made for a smaller audience. Maybe it's, you know, members only or something like that. I don't love any of those ideas. So I think, yeah, the goal is to do it that style. But it just means, like, preparing a lot at once. And that's what I'm not fully ready for. Hey, Toycat, what crisis are we having, says Dig-In Troops. We were talking about the one that Alfred Noble had when he decided that he was going to die an unloved, unpopular man. So he set up the Nobel Prize just as a, like, a desperate hope that he can maybe buy, you know, the love of people afterwards. And honestly, it worked, right? No one knows that Alfred Noble did all those things. Honestly, you probably don't know Alfred Noble for anything but the Nobel Prize. But it's that reminder that, like, this is something that's crazy about YouTube that I've kind of had to confront too, but it's true for everyone in real life. There are loads of people who know you for one conversation you had with them. They know you for one time they saw you, and so they either have a really fond, positive memory of you, or they just don't like you because they're like, man, that person was so obsessed with themselves. That person was so obsessed with this thing. That person was just really not pleasant to be around. And that might be okay to you. But it makes me think, like, I don't know, I met someone at a wedding recently. They were the manager at a Tesco in the Southwest. And I enjoyed talking to them. I try to ask thoughtful questions when I talk to people. Because I want to both let people know that I'm actually listening. I'm not just doing that thing where I'm waiting for my turn to speak. But I also, I try my best to, like, genuinely, like, see, like, oh yeah, what's going on? How could your life be improved by this conversation? It's a very unlikely thing that you can do it, but it'd be nice if I could improve someone's life with just with a 5-minute conversation in some way. Again, these are people not people who know me specifically. I'm talking about, like, in my day-to-day life as Andrew Andrews, not in the life of the YouTuber. Anyway, so the person afterwards was like, yeah, man, really cool, really like, and something about that has, like, stuck with me ever since. Like, just like that, you know, that person was just like, oh yeah, nice guy I met at a wedding. But, like, you know, he really liked some question I had about his life, something I had about like his goals. He was like, yeah, he really appreciated it. He found it to be very insightful, very useful, more deep than any conversation he has. And it's that thing that I'm always saying about, like, people say they don't like small talk, but also, no, you statistically love small talk. Statistically speaking, right? Speaking of statistically speaking, we're very close to the end of today's live stream. We've gone over the 105 minutes that the title says. We'll go over the full 2 hours, shall we? I've been enjoying this one a lot. I really do like mining in Minecraft. I do love when we're on a roll, and I love reading chats from people like Joshua Lyles. Thank you for the tip, by the way. Forgot to add safe travels. I shall have the safest travels I know how to have. Oh, that was weird. You know, that was not a safe travel. Thank you for the tip, my man. I'm glad that you've been enjoying the videos. I hope that I hope one of these conversations is insightful, and I hope in the future we have some more useful ones. We need to talk about this more often. People need to hear this stuff, says Kevin Tosh. People do need to. I know I'm being very dramatic, and I'm being very focused on myself because I had a very serious occurrence in my family. But also, if this isn't the time to do it, then there's no time to do it. And I can't believe that that's true. I can't believe that there's no time to approach the topic of what impact will you make on the people who care about you. Because the answer is you should be going for a good one. The answer is it would be nice if people cared, and hopefully they do. Or maybe they don't. Maybe you don't want them to. Maybe if you have no impact on the world, then no one will be sad when you're gone, and maybe that's actually happier in its own weird, twisted way, right? I'm not the judge of how you make your morality decisions. I am not the judge of any major religion or legal system. All I am is an internet cat who's been playing Minecraft, and hopefully you've been enjoying it. If you have, then hey, by the way, Mr. Mac.
Cat Tax been watching you since day one of
Thank you for
Let's
watching
Play
me.
World.
Thank you so much for the massive tip, Mr. Mac. Man, that's 2 lobster rolls right there. I'm on a roll now. Call me a lobster because I am on a roll today. Sorry, the lobster would be very displeased if he heard that joke. I safe travels and see you next time. You've impacted many. So actually, chat, while we're here, I have 2 streams I want to do when I get back. If you're watching me right now, I care about your opinion more than average. So I either want to do Minecraft, but it's a beach biome only. You know, Minecraft, but it's a total beach. Or I want to do Minecraft, but every, you know, like every 5 minutes, the chat gets to, you know, customize something about the game. Like, you can you could change the weather, or you could add or remove from my size, or, you know, like you could summon some mob or something. Obviously, I could do both, but which one should I do when I first get back? I want to do a big stream when I get back. I love these streams. I love hanging out. I love these opportunities. But I also need to do the biggest streams that make people at least try a live stream for the first time, and also that are kind of more direct. I enjoy them a lot. I think it's fun. So beach, chat decides, mob votes, beach, beach, chat decides, beach, beach. Interesting, people like the beach idea. So an entire world of beach. I'm going to try and beat Minecraft. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we can do chat decides later that week. I've pre-planned a lot of my week after I've gone back. Just so that I'm not stressed on the last day of my trip. Like, oh god, I've got to do that. But I am really looking forward to being back here, Internet. I'm looking forward to this year. And I hope you're looking forward to your year. And if you're not, then maybe you should do something that makes you want to look forward to it. For now, though, I hope you all enjoyed this video. You know, I need to do a full stream of just finishing off the sugarcane farm. I think I could do it. If I get some efficiency 5 tool, I could make this work. I really could. But yeah, for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, because I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, you'll be redirected to that next live stream, actually. Also, I'm not, you know, actually, I need to go back up to my base of this shulker box. That's not goodbye. I lied to you. I tricked you. Any plans to try and improve in your Minecraft TU31 tutorial or this speedrun record? That could be your big stream. That's a funny idea, really, isn't it? Like, go back and aim for a record from way back when. You know, who's gonna stop me? No one can. We could probably find an Elytra real quick. Or we could, like, never portal around that world. It might save some time. That's, you know, honestly, that's a fun, goofy idea. I kind of want to do it, actually. Anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. It's 10:31. I've got a video I need to finish, like, desperately. And then I've got another video I need to start. And then I'm waking up in 9 hours, so... Probably should leave. Probably should go do those things. Or, how about this, right? What if instead of doing that, we didn't and we just hung out all evening? You know, I can't start doing that work, and so I can't be stressed by doing that work if I'm here instead. So, how's the weather going? You having a good Christmas? You having a the rain in Spain has fallen, but we are not on a plane. We're not even in the plains. There's a good joke about that somewhere. Okay, we're just gonna make like 3 chests, and then I'm gonna store my stuff in there, and it'll be great. Procrastination is a scary thing, Toycat lol, says Kyberman. So, is this technically procrastination I'm doing right now? Because I'm still streaming, if you think about it, it's basically work. You know, this is a big hefty batch of work I'm doing, really. And so if you think about it, this is me being productive right now. So, wow, I should reward myself for being productive with a good break. You know, I think I've earned one. You're right, Internet. When you're right, you're right. I've got a good break before I get back to my... No, I'm just kidding. Also, do I have an enchantment table in there? I do. So I hope you've all enjoyed today's Minecraft live stream. If you have, then that's good. If you haven't, then, oh... I wish you luck. Better luck next time, I guess. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, because I'll see you when I see you, I assume. Maybe we should make this like multiple stories high. Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll just make a huge lines of chests here. It'll be real good.